So I'm in the process of getting these two bikes ready for a trip to Colorado, up in the Leadville to Buena Vista area. And I wanted to put a rack on the Husqvarna. I found on Cycle Racks, they had one for $224, so I was thinking about making my own. Then I saw this one Nomadic Cycle Racks, $99. I can't make one for that cheap. If you look how the little DR fender is, it almost has a brace underneath the whole back fenders, so I could just put something on top of this fender. I'm not too worried about it. But the Husky fender, I was thinking it was too weak to just throw something on top of. It doesn't have that brace going all the way back like that Suzuki does. So I thought a rack would be better on there. I just wanted something small, just something to keep the weight off that fender. Yeah, these guys are out of Texas, so the shipping was pretty quick. Box of parts and instructions. Oh, that's a good looking rack. Powder coated. Yeah, it's got the bumpy texture to it. That's definitely bigger and stronger than I thought it would be. I thought it would be littler tubing. That's pretty substantial. On the photos online, it looked like the rack was mounted inside these plates, but then there was one photo where it was mounted on the outside, which looked better. Looked kind of awkward mounted inside of them. And the notes did say that they mount on the outside. He makes racks for all sorts of bikes, obviously, but if you have one of these Husqvarnas, I have read reports, you can't put a lot of weight on this aluminum subframe. Guys have had failures of it, and I don't plan to put a lot of weight on there. It's just mainly to carry some rain gear and stuff like that. Got my hardware laid out and my instructions. See if I can mount this thing. The instructions warn to use thread lock so you don't lose your bolts. I might just use the stock threaded nuts that were on the bike. Just put washers behind them rather than use these. The instructions show the piece of steel, and these are steel, not aluminum, on the outside of the plastic, sandwiching the plastic between the frame and the piece of steel. I may have the brackets installed, and I was able to keep my blinkers. And again, for this rear piece, I'll use a couple of these nylocks and some washers. I'm not a big fan of Loctite, especially around aluminum. Let's see if I can get this on video. It's hard to fit this in here with the panels in place. You take one panel off, and put it in that dent, and slide the panel on. It seems a lot easier. There we go, like that. Spent more time dropping, losing, and looking for these stupid things than it's taking me to put the whole rack on. Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to mount this to the inside of the fender or between the fender and the frame. But what's cool is he provides a short spacer and a long spacer. So if you wanted to put the metal between the fender and the frame, you could actually do away with that short spacer. So either option. That's kind of cool. Win-win, win-win. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be, which is cool. It's stronger than I thought it was going to be. It was easier to mount than I thought it was going to be. And it's better quality than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, good deal. Get this thing all back together and put something on it. I know you're not supposed to overstress these racks, but I can lift the whole bike with this thing. No problem. It's super strong. Now the IMS tank, of course, not going as good. This is more like normal shit goes. Get your act together, IMS. The holes are the wrong spacing. They don't line up. What I'll have to do is drill out, this hole lines up, but that forward hole, I'm going to have to drill this out a lot bigger. The bolt can be over there without going in crooked. Typical. And this is where you start screwing stuff up and breaking crap. But if you're not willing to customize and modify, then you shouldn't even get aftermarket stuff. That's why I couldn't believe that rack went on so easy. It's a little tight, but it's going to work. When you're dealing with threaded inserts in plastic, go heavy on the anti-seize, because those things will seize up and they'll just spin inside the plastic, then you're done. Put just a little bit of gas in the bottom of there to make sure it's not going to leak. Looks like it's not leaking. And it hits the fan. I think I read about this on the forums, but still, it would have been nice if IMS mentioned that in their instructions. This is the 3.9 gallon. I think the 3.4 gallon might clear it, but I opted for the 3.9 because they had no mention of the 3.9 not fitting. Crankcase breather is also in the way, and you will now have to remove your tank to change jetting in your carb. No more twisting it sideways. It'll hit the side of the tank. I guess that's why the stock one came with a 2-gallon tank. I've got 2 more of these cool radiator mounting straps left. There, got my extra big ass tank from Carl's Jr. installed. In hindsight, it's mounting me a gallon of gas back here on this awesome rack I got. But it's there now. I'm sure it'll torment me later when I have to work on the bike.